Johnny Sexton is guilty of misconduct, but he will be available for Ireland's Rugby World Cup opener against Romania. He's been handed a 3-match ban, which sees him missing all of their World Cup warm-up games, but he is available for the World Cup. A huge relief for Johnny Sexton, for Ireland fans, the Ireland team, and I would love to know what you think about it, both in terms of what it means for Ireland and their chances, and also what you think of the verdict itself. I will give you my thoughts on both of those things, but I'll recap exactly what happened briefly first. And I'll just remind you that I'm Tim, this is Egg Chasers, and if I haven't already, hit subscribe. And yeah, I think the comments could be quite interesting on this one. I'd love to know what you think. In short, I'm pleased it's all over, pleased for Ireland, mixed feelings on the verdict. That's the spoiler alert. I'll tell you a bit more in a minute. But briefly to recap what happened, following the Champions Cup final back in May when Leinster were defeated by La Rochelle, Johnny Sexton, the Leinster captain, although not playing that day, went down onto the pitch, confronted the match officials, Jaco Peyper and his team, told them what he thought about them, and that was worthy of a misconduct charge, which, importantly, Johnny Sexton admitted to at the hearing. The wording from the hearing was that his actions were confrontational, aggressive, and disrespectful to the match officials, and it was unsportsmanlike and brought the game of rugby union into disrepute. There was a secondary misconduct charge aimed at Leinster for not controlling Johnny Sexton properly, not controlling a 37-year-old man who's the captain of the national team. Okay, but that's a separate thing for now. Why did it take so long? Because this is over 2 months ago now. Well, they said it was because they were gathering facts and evidence. I think one of the big takeaways here is that this could have been done quicker. I'm glad they're being thorough with the fact-finding, but 2 months? Really? Anyway, the panel were 2 King's Counsel barristers, one from Australia, Adam Castleton, one from England, Christopher Quinlan. Quinlan? I'm joking. And one Portuguese match official, Marcelo Porge. Now, my feelings on this 3-match ban. Well, firstly, I'm pleased for Ireland. I'm pleased that the number 1 team in the world are going to have their captain available for this huge moment when you've got, and also pleased for Johnny Sexton because this will be his farewell in rugby, and he's been a fantastic rugby player. So he's got a full crack of the whip as he bows out. This must have been a bit of a distraction for him and for Ireland in camp. So it's good that it can be put to bed. I want the very best of Ireland to show up at the World Cup to see if they can break that quarterfinal curse and some. They will have no excuses if they don't this time. So I'm pleased. I'm really pleased for Ireland. Really pleased for Andy Farrell and his team and his squad. They've put in so much work over the last couple of years. That's good. Also, because amazingly, 2 things can be true at once. Pleased for Ireland and Johnny Sexton. I'm really hacked off with this decision. It's wrong. It feels wrong from where I sit. Rugby is a sport that talks about values all the time. I go to my local rugby club every weekend, coach my son's rugby team, referee as well. I see the posters plastered up all around the place talking about respect, and I'm not sure that this 3-match ban sends out the message that what Johnny Sexton did is as serious as it is. When you actually read Jaco Peyper's account of the events, what Johnny Sexton did is he went and confronted the match officials first, let off some steam, and then he continued. He followed the referee and his team around the pitch to the point that they left the field because they were worried about it escalating. Now, whatever you think about the refereeing performance on a day, that's one of the things I tell my son and his team. You've got to forget it. Moan about it in the changing room, but you go and shake the ref's hand. And what Johnny Sexton did wasn't only venting in the moment, he then continued it to the point that the referees left the pitch. And whatever you think about Jaco Peyper's performance that day, I'm not his biggest fan a lot of the time, I will admit. Refereeing a Champions Cup final is a massive moment for a referee as well as a player. And for Johnny Sexton to have made the referees and officials feel so uncomfortable they had to leave the pitch, it is bang out of order. Johnny Sexton was bang out of order. He admitted to the misconduct charge. So he knows that it was bang out of order as well. 3 matches doesn't feel like it fits the bill and send out that message. Now, I'm saying that, and I'm also going to say at the same time, I don't think there's any conspiracy. I don't think this is a stitch-up. I don't think this is a fix. I have faith and trust that the panel did. This two King's Council barristers. They're not going to be corrupt and stitch this up. So you can if you think it's wrong, you agree with me. However, I've got every faith that the panel were diligent with their decision making. I honestly am. I think they will have looked at precedent before, they'd have taken everything into account, and they'll have come up with a fair decision. So if you've got an issue, as I do, the issue is with World Rugby. When you can go out onto a pitch, make an accidentally clumsy tackle because someone dips at the last minute or slips or changes direction, and you can get a bigger ban than someone who can follow a referee team around a pitch, mouthing off at them, then I've got an issue with you, World Rugby. You need to make that a more serious offence. And some people have brought up the fact that Dylan Hartley, he missed a Lions tour or he missed a World Cup because he called Wayne Barnes a effing cheat, and Johnny Sexton said to Jaco Piper, "You're an effing disgrace." Was that alleged or did he admit to that? I'm not sure. Anyway, that's what he's supposed to have said. Dylan Hartley got 11 games. Johnny Sexton got 3 games. Doesn't that prove that it's a stitch up? Well, not necessarily, because Dylan Hartley got banned for basically a year worth of rugby. So past behaviour does account for something. It does matter, and it is meaningful. So again, so to recap, pleased for Ireland and for Johnny Sexton. Think it's great news that he can be in the World Cup. Don't think the punishment fits the crime. My issue is with World Rugby, not with the panel, because I think they did their job properly. Does that wrap it up? Does that seem fair? Tell me what you think in the comments. I'm genuinely, I'm going to be looking at these comments more than most, and I do get in there and reply to a lot of them. But I'm going to really pay this one attention because I think this is important and it's going to be contentious. So thank you for watching. Tell me what you think, and I'll see you on the next video.